Component Creator is a fun new tool in EnRoute 6 that we're anxious to get in everybody's hands just to see what they'll do with it. So to get started, I select a contour, then click on the tool, and you'll see that a grid comes up. This represents a grid of components that will be created when I click OK. I can click and drag to move the grid into position. I can also change the angle and then choose some of the parameters associated with how it's going to be built. That it's going to be a crosshatch pattern, that I want to notch them. I've got some glue gaps. I can set the material thickness. When I click apply, the components are created. You'll notice that I've got 3 sets of components. Here I've got a 3D model of the actual assembled part. I have a wireframe representing the different parts as they're positioned together, and then I also have the geometry that I'm going to cut out. You'll notice that the geometry is numbered H1234 and V1234 for the vertical and horizontal components of the grid. Now if I change drawings here, you can see that I have another option that makes it really interesting. If I have a relief created, in this case one that I've created using Sweep 2 rails, I have that available to me as a way to create my parts. So I do the same thing. I select the object, get into the tool, and define spacing and positioning. One thing you'll notice when I move the grid, that sometimes I get a red node that shows up. This is alerting me to the fact that if I go ahead and create those parts, I've got an awkward joint right near the border there that probably won't be created correctly. So I want to get rid of those and position the parts the way I like them, and when I click apply, the parts are going to be created basically the same way, but now instead of a flat front, you can see that I have curved front based on the relief that I created. So now if I look at it in perspective view, you'll see that those parts were created to match my relief plus the return that I had defined for them. So the Component Creator is something that will be a fun thing for everyone to use to create shelving units and architectural applications, and as I said at the beginning, we're anxious to see what everybody does with it.